Hey everybody, this is Dustin, your specialist. So today I'm looking at our 2022 Nash. It's a outdoors sister company, which is Arctic Fox, and this one is an off-grid unit. And so today we're going to be doing an exterior eval. I'm going to start with the front cap and show you guys something that's really common that we see. So here we go. So one of the things when you come in, we do what's called exterior evaluation. We're looking for things that can cause you problems. And like as you can see outside here, it's pretty foggy. And as you can see, all the water on the side of the coach and on the front of the coach and on the ground, that's just condensation here in the morning in California. So what I want to talk about is, here is your front cap moldings, right? And these moldings are pretty typical, whether you have a fiberglass cap like this is, or you have a flat walled cap on the sidewall, there's always going to be some type of transition molding that's going to seal the gap that's behind these two surfaces. Now, in most cases, if you took this molding loose, there is nothing back behind it to seal off those two surfaces. Sometimes they will put like a Dicor or Alpha 1-inch seam tape, which is like a plastic tape with like a little bit of a like a putty, similar to, like, we'll say kind of like a turn-on tape. But whenever you start to see, and I'm going to go down here, you see how this molding, all this putty is bled out, and it's pretty substantial if you consider it to the size of my finger, right? See how all this is bled out? This is happening on both sides of the trailer, and you can see it gets bigger and bigger as we go, and it goes clear up to the very top. So when that does that, basically what's happening, and you'll see that it's separated the old sealant here, so you can see where the sealant line is at. And sorry for all the road noise, I'm up real close to the front of our street where this unit's parked because it's such a small guy. But what's happening is the sidewall and the front cap are flexing, and they're kind of agitating. So it's doing this, so here's this basically L-shaped leg, and it's doing this motion. And as it's doing that walking motion from the whole unit, creaking side to side, so when I say side to side, it's doing this type of motion. When that's doing that, and it's doing this type of motion, it's moving the molding. So underneath this is called insert molding. A lot of people will come in and they'll measure that and they'll say, hey, I got a 5/8 piece. It's actually a 1-inch, and when it's crushed, it's somewhere between 3/4 and 5/8, depending on how you measure it, but it's an actual 1-inch insert molding. There's only two sizes in our industry that are for this style. One is the 1-inch and the other one is a 3/4 inch. So when the 3/4 inch is squished, it's typically about 5/8. When the 1-inch is squished, it's typically about 3/4. So, but that's not the proper size. So if you go in and saying, hey, I need a 3/4, make sure that it's, if it's a 1-inch side. Normally, the only time you'd see the small stuff would be around a compartment door or a window or something like that on an older unit, or an entry door or something like that. But typically all your moldings at your roof line, all your front cap moldings, all your rear wall moldings, side moldings, belt line moldings, and all that, that's all going to be 1-inch. So anyways, what would we do for this, right? So what we would do is recommend that, one, replace the insert molding, because you're going to crack it or damage it when you pull it out. This stuff is already about 3 years old, or maybe 3.5 years old. It's not necessarily loose like normally when we're tapping on them. This one's not really making any noise, so it's still expanded in that track really well. But we would take that insert molding out, go back and tighten all the screws all the way up. Now those screws are pre-drilled, the holes are pre-drilled, and those screws are usually self-tap screw, and they're usually put in every 6 inches. So if you pull that loose and you're seeing that melt line molding, you can go ahead and add additional screws if you want, every 3 inches if you need to in between the 6, or just kind of sporadic wherever you think it best needs to be tightened up. Now again, this one I would say pull it completely loose, tighten up all the screws, trim off all that putty, wipe it all down with a low-grade body solvent cleaner. We use a lot of the Acrosol, but where we can sell that to you online, or you can get on Amazon or whatnot. Another product that we use is called Cosmo, and our Cosmo Lane, and we get that basically in 5-gallon drums and put it into a pump sprays, but that's not set up to sell it to the retail customer. Same thing with this side, right? You can see, for the most part, this side's kind of stayed somewhat still, and it's moved a little bit, but here on the opposite side, it's done the same thing, and it's bled out pretty significant. So you can see here we're getting closer and all the way up. So now something to think about, right? You see this edge of this molding. Well, typically, you know, you're not allowing, so it's a almost the width of my pinky, we'll say, right? So, but here's this whole other side, right? So, and if you look at the side view of the profile of that, when you take that in consideration away, you're only talking about that much room, maybe, I'm gonna say less than 3/8, you know, a little bit more than a quarter, less than 3/8, somewhere in that neighborhood, about halfway. That's what's actually catching this wall side. So if this is not tight and this putty's bled out, as it's bled out and it starts to dry out, come off and flake, and you know, you can peel it off too. As that starts to come out, it's gonna leave voids and gaps, and it's gonna allow water to get back there. When that water gets back there, it's gonna be unseen for years. And so typically, you know, water's gonna run off of gravity. So the water's gonna get back in behind here. It's gonna run down the wall. As it does, it takes a risk of it damaging the sidewalls, hidden damage in the front caps, and it's all gonna go down to the floor and cause dry rot in the floor. Most people will come in years later and we'll like do some work in a compartment, or we're doing something in there, or they're loading something in and out, and they start to see that the floor is all dry rotted and crumbled. So anyways, stay tuned for more. That's just the front, you know, and again, I haven't looked the whole front over, but that's the main thing that jumps out at me. You know, obviously the sealants around the clearance lights probably need to be checked. Like I said, with this off-road package, it's got, you know, a lot more LED lights than most units. And then the generator stand and the taller tanks. So pretty cool setup. But anyway, stay tuned for more. I'm gonna stop this video and I'm gonna do another quick one. Thanks so much for watching.